Well, thank you so much for joining us, Matt Leinart, USC legend. And I'm hearing an avowed super fan of Wendy's. So I'd love to start out by hearing a little bit about the partnership you have with Wendy's and some new menu items that we can maybe expect this college football season.
Well, yeah. Well, first of all, the new menu items are fantastic. We got the loaded nacho cheeseburger, which tastes as good as it sounds, and then you have the queso fries. So, for this football season, with Wendy's and the hamburger really being the hamburger of college football this year, Wendy's is launching these two new items, which are fantastic. So, I hope at some point you can go try them out. And then, I've been a long fan and love Wendy's, and with our partnership and relationship with Fox, I've known Wendy's forever. So to be a part of this campaign with them, and just the overall excitement that they bring to college football and the partnership, it's awesome. They are the best. They have a great team, and to be a part of the campaign, I'm honored. I'm excited, and we got college football right around the corner. So it's going to be a great year with Wendy's for sure.
And you got to partner with Caleb Williams on this campaign, who is a Heisman winner and is navigating a completely different endorsement landscape than what you had to deal with when you were at SC. How was it sort of mentoring him through this new process while you get familiar with it too?
Yeah, no, it was well, first of all, I know Caleb pretty well. So he great kid, done a really great job with different partnerships and kind of NIL and really diversifying kind of his portfolio, I guess you'd call it. And then obviously with Wendy's and doing that campaign together, and kind of helping him. It's just funny, because he's so new to all this stuff. As much as the stuff he's doing, he's still new to that kind of world, and because he's still young, the kid's, I don't know, 20, 21 years old. So, but he had a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun shooting that day. And I know he's fired up for the season, and great kid, great player, and really helping USC get back to that national prominence, which is awesome.
A lot of people are making the comparison between Caleb Williams and Patrick Mahomes. Now, do you think those comparisons are fair?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think comparisons are always funny in sports, and it gives debate and it's conversation. I get all that. I mean, I think Mahomes is so gifted and so rare at what he's done, and I always say, like, Steph Curry really changed the game of basketball, I think, with the 3-point shot and just like how he's played the game. And because I have a kid who plays basketball, like, you just see now that kids rather take threes than layups. Like, that game has evolved, just like college football and NFL and the RPO and offenses. Everything is always changing. I think Mahomes and Rodgers was doing this before Mahomes, but Mahomes has just done it at this crazy, so quickly. Kind of the way he's played that position, just a little bit street backyard football, kind of toss fundamentals out the window, but you're still equally as accurate. You're still making all the good decisions. Like, he's just changed the way they play that position. Um, and I think Caleb is done a lot of that. He does a lot of that at the collegiate level. The different arm angles, kind of making plays out of nothing. All of the stuff that, like, as I was a young quarterback growing up, I was taught, like, you're taught pocket awareness and feet, and your feet need to be aligned with your hips and your shoulders. And it's still taught that way, because there's only a handful of guys that can play the way really those two play. So to your point, I think the comparisons are fair in the sense of kind of how they play the position. But I think Caleb, said something about, like, he's like, I am who I am. I want to be, Caleb Williams, which is true. Like, Caleb is as special as they come. And if he just continues on the path that he's on, he's gonna be an all-time great. I really believe that. I think he is that good. So he'll pave his own way. He'll create his own legacy. But he's so talented. Like, it's crazy how good he is.
I'd love to touch on your time at USC a little bit too, because I think a lot of us are watching the Johnny Manziel documentary on Netflix, seeing how overwhelming that level of stardom can be to someone in College Station. Now, you, Reggie Bush, and you're in LA. Like, how do you manage to stay grounded somewhat in a situation like that, or did you?
Yeah, no, we did because we won, and we always it was interesting. I watched the Johnny doc, and I know Johnny, and obviously the first thing is just praying for the guy. He's a great kid, obviously, and that was, I mean, look, like expectation, pressure, when you rise to fame that quickly, like it can affect anybody. It affected me at times too, especially early on in the NFL. It's hard. I think for me personally, you know, we kind of had this perception because of where we were, L.A., Hollywood. Pete Carroll loved kind of embracing that because it was a recruiting tactic, and he was smart about it. And Lincoln's doing the same thing now. Like, you have this incredible asset, which is Los Angeles, in your backyard with media, celebrity. I mean, everything you can imagine, entertainment, at your disposal to in a way help, and a lot of SC alumni who are living in those industries, to help. Pete did a great job of that. I think the one thing I always say is we handled success very well. We handled that very well on and off the field because we always knew the number one goal and job was to win football games and to win championships. And obviously, we lost to Texas, but we were a player or two away from being a three-time national champion in that span. And we had fun, but we also were really focused on the job at hand. And I credit that to our leaders on the team every year, and Pete and the staff, who really did a great job of balancing kind of all of the things that were around us in that time period.
Did you have a song that you would always hear at parties back then that sort of defined your college experience at USC, or
A
nothing?
song?
Yeah.
Uh, no, I didn't have a song. I mean, I had like the same songs I listened to before games, kind of my, my superstitions, but I never had a song. But do you have a song for me?
No, I don't know. I just, when I was in college, I felt like there were certain songs I'd hear everywhere that I still think back today, and I'm like, oh yeah,
Oh,
right, that's college. Like, I don't know if you had the same experience.
um, I mean, I think of Nelly was big in high school, so I think of like that. What was not hot in here? What was the other, why am I blanking on his big one? Oh, what's Nelly's like his biggest hit?
Country
Um,
Grammar.
Country Grammar. So Country Grammar was like, I think when I was 17 or six, I don't know, it was right around high school. I always correlate high school with Nelly. That's one of them. So college, I don't really remember. I'm sure there's a couple. Like Eminem was big. I'm a big Eminem fan, so like I used to listen to all his, uh his CDs at the time, dating myself.
Me too.
Or the was it the iPod? The iPod had come out. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, you're ticking around on the shuffle. Yeah, I feel you. Now I'll wrap with this. I'll get out of here. The summer is unfortunately ending, college, but that means college football season is on the horizon. Do you have like an official summer beach send off? Like, do you do a blowout and then it's back to business, or do you just sort of flow into the season?
No, we just got back. My family, we just got back from Cabo last weekend. Actually, we missed the hurricane a week before, which is we were pretty fortunate. Not really, man. Like we were so busy. Like this weekend, my wife and I are going to Utah. My oldest son has a high school football game there this weekend, which is pretty cool. So she and I are using that kind of, one, to go see him and support him, but also just for us to kind of get away before my season starts, which is next week. We're at TCU week 1, so it kind of just flows. Like, we try and get a vacation with the kids before the season. Her and I try to do something by ourselves just to kind of get that last thing, because the season's crazy. I travel every week, and she's busy with her work, and we got 3 kids that we're different schedules and all that. So, but no, man, we're kind of hunkered in right now.
Well, we're ready for kickoff. Matt
Me too,
Leinart, thanks
man.
for joining. Ready to try the new Wendy's menu items as well, and I appreciate you talking me through them.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Appreciate you, man.